Hey guys, how's it going? So yeah, we had a pretty interesting night tonight. As you can see by the title, I ended up in the emergency room tonight. I'm okay, everything's cool, but yeah, it made for an interesting evening to say the least. So here's what happened. We're sitting there. We had just had dinner. The fam ate regularly. I didn't. My throat was bothering me a little bit, so I just had my normal. This is my formula that I eat that is well balanced and has all the stuff that a growing boy needs. I have two of these with each meal, and I just finished that. And along with that, I flush my line, and then I put water in my feed bag. I put two of those Jevities in there, the formulas, and then I put another, what is it, about 8 ounces of water in there. That all goes in my belly, and then I do another 8 ounces of water to flush my line again. And so a total of, what is that, 24 ounces or so of water, and then another 16 ounces of Jevity. So my stomach was pretty full. At any rate, I went to get up and I felt a pain. I didn't know what happened, but it was in my abdomen. I looked down and formula was gushing out. It was like running out from somewhere. And I'm like, what the heck? So I looked down, I was looking for my hose. And because, usually sometimes I'll forget and I'll disconnect everything. And when I disconnect from here, of course, without pinching off the line like this, sometimes I'll forget and, it'll run out, right? But I look down and this is nowhere to be found. And I look, and the Jevity's coming out of my stomach, directly out of my stomach. I'm like, what the heck? And I look down on the floor, and I see this, the entire tube. This is the whole thing. This is actually the one that was in my stomach, right here. Now, needless to say, my wife was like, what the heck? And she kind of looked, and, we're kind of like, what happened here? She jumped up. Um, I had a napkin in my hand, and I stuck the napkin and my finger in the hole. I didn't know what else to do. And she took off in the bathroom to go get, a towel or whatever to kind of pack it. Um, and then we kind of talked through, what hospital we were going to go through, what hospital we were going to go to. Originally, we were thinking about going right down the road, just 2 miles down the road, less than that, a mile and a half. There's a hospital, my town hospital, nice hospital, good staff and everything. And the VA was about 20 minutes away. And we decided, since, it was actually my wife's call, and it was a good call. All my medical records and everything were at the VA. Rather than mess around with the civilian hospital, they don't know who I am, they don't know my medical records, they don't know the meds that I'm on and all that. We decided to take the 20-minute trip. It wasn't emergent. I had my finger in the hole. The only thing I was concerned about was my hand getting tired and have to swap out, right? And leaking all over the car. So anyway, but it wasn't an emergency. It wasn't bleeding or anything. So we decided to go to the VA, and it was a good call. We got right in. I mean, so we were in there at 6 o'clock, and by 6:50, we were done. The only thing that the doc wanted to do was get an X-ray, so they injected some contrast in through the hole, and to make sure that it was getting through to my stomach and my small intestine, right? And they also took some X-rays to make sure that the placement of the ball and everything was in my stomach properly. It wasn't blocking anything or whatever. He used the same hole, so I mean, it shouldn't have been an issue, but he wanted to double check. So really, and we had to end up having to take two X-rays. So that's really that took like an hour and a half, almost an hour and three quarters. If it wasn't for that, we'd have been out of there in less than an hour. I'm talking about putting a brand new tube in and everything in the emergency room, out the door in less than an hour. I couldn't believe it. And the doctor, Dr. Nasser, I got to give props to him. He walked into my treatment room and he was like, I had a chance to go over your records. And I understand that back in August of 2019, you did this, and boom, 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 all the way down the line. He had all my chemo, he had my surgery, he had my radiation dates, the month and year of my entire treatment, everything, the Keytruda, everything. I mean, this guy was phenomenal. At any rate, um, so yeah, without further ado, I actually my wife was able to videotape or video Dr. Nasser putting the tube in. So if you're squeamish or whatever, you might want to look away. There's no blood or anything, but you might want to look away, and I'll let you know when to look back, okay? So here we go.
So I should not hurt you, correct? It could be uncomfortable, it will be a pressure, but if I'm hurting you, I depend on you to tell me, okay?
All right, I'll try and let you know, Doc.
It's just that I don't want to go the wrong way, correct?
Yeah, that'll be bad, right?
Yeah.
So maybe all this me time isn't good for us. Well, all I'm saying is I didn't want to take any chances with my marriage. Well, appreciate the man to man. You gotta run to your gardening and get your diary going. Your Zumba classes.
I think she should.
Okay. How about this? What if the scene where Lord
So for
Amelia
the
Ball's
untrained
fire
mind,
begins to make you like half an
why would we
after
get
Astrid
more
Cross
miles
escapes from
over
the
there
stink
than
cloud?
one?
Yeah, I love it. We're really good at this. It's like Bill Lamb is with us. Maybe he is, Kyle.
You like it
Maybe
tight?
he is.
Snug would be good.
Other rooms could call it.
That feels pretty good right there.
No, it still is not,
It's not tight yet.
no.
We didn't do it. Babe, you've been here all day. What have you been doing? Something way more important. We decided to finish the train of doom.
So now we're going to confirm, okay?
All right.
But we don't have legal rights.
Yeah.
Ah, there's your dinner. See how he confirmed? Look.
Oh, there it is.
But I'm going to confirm further by putting some dye in it and taking an x-ray, alright?
All right.
I just don't...
Got to make sure it works both ways.
Yeah. Question. None of it could have got into his abdomen, right? And none of his food that was in his belly because he had just eaten. Okay. Although a lot of it ended up on the floor.
Okay, so that was it. So I didn't have a local or anything. And it was pretty painless. I mean, it was a little bit of a jolt, but nothing bad. And we're really surprised. And you can see, we're surprised that I didn't have more pain or more bleeding from when the original tube get yanked out. Because I mean, you can see how thin that hose is. It's only what, maybe a quarter of an inch. And look at the size of the balloon. This is the actual balloon. This has got to be 3/4 of an inch. So this actually, now this does squish, but I mean, when it's coming out of a round hole, it can only get so small, right? But yeah, that thing yanked out of a hole this big without, ripping my skin open or anything. So that was pretty impressive. And yeah, apparently this slides too. I'm not going to mess with it, but so pretty much, guys, that's the nuts and bolts of it. Daddy got a brand new tube tonight. It wasn't intentional, but there you have it. I just wanted to get this out there real quick in case some of you heard that I ended up in the emergency room. I wanted to make sure that you were fully aware of what happened and make sure you knew I'm okay. So that's it. No more excitement for tonight. I'm going to probably start taping this thing down full time so it doesn't grab on something. To this moment, I still do not know what grabbed onto it. It could have got down into the waistband of my pants. I think if I bent forward and it got down in there, and then when I went to get up, the waistband pushed against my stomach and pinched it, and then it just yanked it right out. So that's the only thing I can think of. I didn't have my arm on the table. It wasn't like my arm was sitting on it or anything. So I don't know what happened. It's a mystery, and it wasn't pleasant. So yeah, we don't want that happening again. So hey guys, have a good night, and we'll see you next time. Bye.